This is the drone you're looking for. 48 MP stills, 4K per 60 frames per second video. Great value for money. For short months after introducing the truly palm-sized Neo, DJI is back with another pint-sized consumer drone. The Flip continues the drone giant's interest in foldable form factors, with a quartet of propeller guards that essentially stack up for maximum portability. If you're looking to upgrade from the DJI Mini 3, but don't want to spend a lot on the DJI Mini 4 Pro, you should get the DJI Flip. From its video and still specs to its stabilization technology and smart shooting modes, the Flip is chock full of features. It utilizes a 3-axis mechanical gimbal to ensure footage remains smooth and you can pan, roll, and tilt as needed. For context, the DJI Neo features a single-axis design, which means the resulting footage is slightly choppy when it's very windy. The Flip can remain stable in windy conditions up to 10.7 meters per second, level 5 wind, just like the Mini 3 and the Mini 4 Pro. The new Flip continues to blur the lines in DJI's existing consumer portfolio, combining the simplicity of the DJI Neo with the stunning photo capabilities of the DJI Mini for the company. At $439, the drone is a lot closer to the Mini 3 for $119 than the Neo, $199. It's clear the company is gunning for photographers/videographers looking to streamline their outdoor shooting. The new drone is capable of shooting in 4K at 60 frames per second, as well as 100 frames per second slow-motion video. As for stills, the camera can capture 48 megapixel shots with up to 4x zoom. At 249 grams, the Flip weighs the same as the Mavic Mini, but is notably heftier than the Neo's, 135 grams. With more weight, however, comes a significantly better battery life. The Flip has a listed 31 minutes on a charge to the Neo's 18. That's a significant difference for people shooting video. The standout feature for me of the Flip is that while it features a smallish Type 1/1.3 48 megapixel quad Bayer sensor, it also has DJI's dual ISO fusion, where the sensor is read out at low and high gain sensitivity simultaneously, giving more dynamic range and the ability to record the flexible D-Log profile. As far as photographic features, the Flip can record 12 or 48 megapixel images in RAW or JPEG due to the quad Bayer sensor. While shooting 48 megapixels does offer a minor improvement in captured detail, it's marginal. I would liken it more to a 16 megapixel image captured with a dedicated camera. Dynamic range is decent due to the dual ISO fusion, but will still lag behind many modern smartphones, which are combining far more than 2 images to increase dynamic range. There are a few ways to pilot the DJI Flip. When connected to the DJI Fly app, you can use verbal commands or a drop-down menu to select from a number of automated shots. Things like rocket, where the camera rises straight up while pointing down, or follow, where the Flip will follow right behind you. These look great, but sadly manual exposure is taken away from you when utilizing the preset shots. You can also put the Flip in manual control on the app and use virtual touchscreen controls that simulate a classic dual joystick control experience. Unfortunately, I found this pretty cumbersome, but useful for setting up a shot and flying the Flip in one set direction. For most people, I would recommend getting the Fly More kit, if only to have access to the RC2 remote control. This gives the operator classic dual joystick controls, an intuitive touchscreen interface, and a big, beautiful 7-inch, 1080p, 700 nit display. It's the same remote used by DJI's more advanced models, and it's a pleasure to use. One thing that may catch new users by surprise is the lack of stability offered by sub-250G drones in moderate wind. While the Flip will do its best to compensate, occasional gusts will move the drone more than the gimbal and onboard motors can compensate. I found myself often repeating shots at least once to make sure it was smooth and recording 4K/60p and slowing it down to minimize the bounce, but it's definitely there. Stability is one of the advantages of larger drones, but you'll certainly pay for it. An impressive feature on the Flip is the ability to record audio on your phone, and then DJI's software will attempt to filter out the propeller motor noise and attach that audio to the video clips. There are 2 options for audio filtration, either natural or the stronger, pure. The latter sounds atrocious in my test, but the natural mode is much more usable. I found that using this with a lavalier mic in my office produced legible, although certainly not pleasing audio. However, the Flip was quite close to the mic and was in an enclosed space. The further away the motors are, the better your audio will sound, so I imagine outdoor situations will be a lot more tolerable. The Flip has really solid battery life. DJI rates it as having a maximum 31-minute runtime in ideal conditions. In my real-world testing with light wind, I would get anywhere from 22 to 28 minutes of flight time per battery. It's worth pointing out that with regular landings between short flights, the USB-C powered quadruple battery charger was able to charge batteries as fast as I was depleting them, as long as it was hooked up to a strong power supply. That allowed me to pretty much use the Flip all day long without much interruption. In terms of video image quality, I think the Flip is totally acceptable for many uses. Rolling shutter is well controlled, and the D-Log profile gives plenty of room for adjusting color and exposure in editing. The D-Log dynamic range is very similar to an iPhone 16 Pro recording Apple Log, but with not quite as much information in the shadows. This meant I did have a few blown-out skies in some shots, but it's still worlds better than the contrasty default profile, which is your only option with the Neo. So I have to say, in every meaningful way, the Flip lived up to my expectations. Sure, there are compromises in image quality and stability using such a small affordable drone, but if you're like me and want a sub-250-gram model with image quality that won't look out of place combined with other professional cameras, the Flip is a great option. The highest praise I can give it is that you're going to see a lot more aerial footage on Petapixel's YouTube channel shortly, thanks to this little cutie. Unlike the DJI Neo, the Flip can record 4K/60p, which I find to be basically essential for my work. Also, the camera is compatible with ND filters sold separately, which is important as the aperture is a fixed f/1.7, so NDs are essential to control exposure and the look of your motion blur. The 6.7mm lens gives a full-frame equivalent field of view of a 24mm lens. It can also capture HDR video, which the Neo can't. The Flip also sports automatic braking to avoid high-altitude collisions, as well as improvements to charging and data speeds. DJI equates a new local data mode to a smartphone's airplane mode, allowing the system to disconnect from the internet while in flight. The DJI Flip is a solid mid-range drone, perfect for those looking to upgrade from older DJI models. It captures detailed 48MP stills in all lighting conditions and records gorgeous 4K per 60 frames per second footage. It's great for content creators as it features many shooting modes, plus it's built really well and sports a slick design. However, it has a lower flight time than cheaper models, even from DJI itself. It proves susceptible to gusts of wind and features forward-facing obstacle avoidance only. DJI Flip. Release date and price. Released January 14, 2025. The DJI RCs and 3 base kit costs $439/£369/699 Australian dollars. The DJI RC2 Fly More bundle costs $779/659 Australian dollars. The DJI Flip was announced on January 14, 2025 and is available in 3 kit options. The standard DJI Flip kit includes the drone, DJI RC, and 3 controller, 1 battery, a pair of spare propellers and other basic accessories, and costs $439/£369/699 Australian dollars. While the kit with the DJI RC2 Smart controller is $639/£549/949 Australian dollars. At release, there isn't a Fly More bundle that incorporates the simpler DJI RC and 3 controller, just one with the DJI RC2 controller that costs $779/£659/1,159 Australian dollars. This more comprehensive kit includes all of the above plus 2 additional batteries, a 4-battery charging hub, a shoulder bag, and 2 additional pairs of spare propellers. The Fly More combo is decent value when you consider the advantages it delivers when compared to the base kit. Should you buy it? Yes. The Flip is a much better option for serious creators than the Neo, while still keeping under the 250-gram weight cutoff that will limit your shooting options. There are certainly advantages to image quality, stability, and usability with DJI's higher-end options, so if you are serious about aerial video, that may still be the way to go. But for more casual users who still care about image quality, the Flip provides a fantastic combination of size, price, and performance. For the latest tech news and reviews, follow Simmyideas Tech Hub on X, Facebook, WhatsApp, Threads, and Google News. For the latest videos on gadgets and tech, subscribe to our YouTube channel.